I honestly never thought I'd be saying this, but we are witnessing the collapse of the French government in real time in 2025. It just wasn't on my bingo card. I mean, I knew it was coming, but not this fast. The signs were all there. We've been watching it on this channel as African nations began cutting ties, reclaiming their power, and standing up to say, France, your era of exploitation is over. It was only a matter of time before the fallout hit home. The way President Macron was acting, desperate, almost panicked, it was clear something big was brewing. When Africa collectively said enough, France's old parasitic system started to crumble from the inside. But nobody expected it to happen at this speed. Right now, France is in absolute political chaos. The Prime Minister, François Bayrou, was just forced out after losing a no-confidence vote. That's the fifth Prime Minister in less than 2 years. The country is drowning in debt, the economy is shaking, and the people are furious. Bayrou tried to sound the alarm. He bluntly said, "We're broke." He proposed cutting government spending, reducing welfare benefits, and even canceling public holidays to save the budget. But for the French people, that was the final straw. The outrage was immediate. Parliament turned on him, refused to back his austerity measures, and just like that, he was gone. Now, Paris is burning. Again. The streets are a war zone of smoke, sirens, and chaos. Protesters are clashing with riot police, blocking roads and setting fires. Water cannons, tear gas. It's the whole 9 yards. Across the entire country, a movement called Let's Block Everything has gone viral, with citizens demanding real, fundamental change. Their anger is deep-seated, fueled by years of inequality, financial hardship, and a profound sense of betrayal. And all fingers are pointing at one person, President Emmanuel Macron. He's being blamed for pushing the country deeper into debt while posturing as its savior. The people feel abandoned, and frankly, they have every right to. This, my friends, is history unfolding before our very eyes. And it teaches a powerful lesson, not just for France, but for every so-called powerful nation that believes its dominance is permanent. Power shifts, empires fall. And this time, Africa's awakening played a starring role in that shift. Let's take a moment and give credit where it's due, to this generation. The youth, the fearless ones, the Gen Z thinkers and fighters who refuse to be silent. You aren't just following old systems, you're creating new ones. Our parents and grandparents endured the trauma of colonization and the mental chains that came with it. But we are the generation that is finally breaking those chains, once and for all. There's something different in the air. Can you feel it? It's this subtle but powerful shift, shaking the very foundations of the world we thought was set in stone. Old powers are stumbling, and voices that were once silenced are now echoing louder than ever. 2025 isn't just another year. It's a turning point, a moment where history is being rewritten right in front of us. Think about France. The once proud symbol of European strength and culture is now struggling just to keep its own house in order. It feels surreal, watching a nation that once dictated the destinies of others now fighting to save itself. You see the news, protests on every corner, smoke over Paris, and politicians losing control faster than anyone imagined. This isn't just politics, it's raw human emotion. It's frustration, exhaustion, and a collective roar of, "We've had enough." But here's the beautiful part of this story. While France is shaking, Africa is standing tall. The continent that was dismissed, exploited, and underestimated is now rewriting its own narrative, and it's doing so with fire in its eyes. For decades, Africa shouldered the weight of others' greed. Now, that same continent is rising up and declaring, "No more." The energy is palpable. You see it in the tech hubs built by young entrepreneurs, in governments severing colonial ties, and in citizens realizing the immense power of their own voices. This isn't a silent revolution. It's loud, proud, and unstoppable. From Burkina Faso to Mali, the message is spreading. Africa doesn't need anyone's permission to rise. Meanwhile, back in France, the irony is poetic. The empire that lectured others on stability can't even manage its own chaos. People everywhere are waking up and asking the questions that were once too dangerous to voice. Why did our nations need foreign approval to thrive? Why did we let the hands that took from us also write our history books? Why were we told to be grateful while others built empires on our resources and our lives? 2025 feels like the answer. It's the year of awareness, the year the silence broke. And what's most beautiful is that this shift is personal. You see it in the way young Africans talk about their future with pride, not hesitation. You hear it in the music, see it in the art. A long-lost confidence is finally returning home. There's a fearless generation that grew up seeing both sides of the story. They know the pain of the past, but refuse to be chained by it. They scroll through social media, connect with like-minded people globally, and realize they are not alone. They see injustice and call it out. They see manipulation and expose it. They aren't afraid to dream bigger and fight smarter. That's the real power shift. It isn't just about France collapsing. It's the illusion of control that's collapsing. The myth that one part of the world has the right to dictate how the other part lives is finally dying. And in its place, something new, something fairer, is being born. A few years ago, the idea of Africa standing on equal footing with its former colonizers would have been laughed at. Now, it doesn't seem so impossible. Every protest, every reform, every young person breaking barriers adds up. France is now cornered by its own history. The decisions it made for others have come back to haunt it. The exploitation, the debt, the arrogance. History has come full circle. Maybe that's how it's supposed to be. Empires don't fall overnight. They crumble piece by piece until one day you look up and the foundation is gone. That's where France is now, searching for answers in a world it no longer recognizes. And while that happens, Africa is looking forward, not back. The focus is on unity, growth, and reclaiming what was always theirs. This isn't about revenge. It's about balance. The world is finally correcting a centuries-long imbalance. The West is learning it can't dictate everything, and Africa is realizing it never needed validation to shine. Power doesn't disappear, it transforms. And that's what we're seeing in 2025. We are living through a moment that history books will study. They'll say, that was the year everything began to change. And they'll see it was driven by human willpower, the courage to say, we deserve better. With technology and social media, the truth spreads like wildfire. Knowledge is our weapon and connection is our strength. So when people ask why we still talk about this, the answer is simple. Because awareness is power. Don't underestimate your voice. Talk to your friends, your family. Every small spark contributes to the fire of change. That's how revolutions begin, quietly, then all at once. And now, the tables have truly turned. France, once the master of exploitation, is crumbling under the weight of its own greed. The same system that thrived on others' pain is now breaking from within. So what do you think? Is this the end of an era for France, or the beginning of something much bigger for the world? Let's discuss it in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Mental Flight, where we uncover the truths others want to hide. Until next time, stay aware, stay sharp, and never stop thinking.